welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Places in News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we are going to discuss some important places which have been in news from the perspective of exam. So let us begin with some global places, starting with a country, Italy. Italy has been in news for multiple reasons. Recently, Prada has signed an MOU to sell the Kolhapuris at the Indian-Italy Forum. Italy has signaled deeper trade push into India as European Union FTA talks are entering final stage, and India and Italy have deepened ties with joint initiative against terror financing. When we talk about the location of Italy, it is located in southern Europe in Mediterranean Peninsula, and if we talk about as a country, it is an important member of European Union as well. That is why it is part of European Union Free Trade Agreement talks with India. Now, in terms of location, other things that you should know that it borders many important countries such as France, Switzerland, Australia and Slovenia, and it is also known for the physical geography, not just in terms of mountains, that is Alps, where they form a natural barrier with France, and it is shared with France as well, where the highest peak is Mont Blanc in the Alps. Then we have the Po River Basin. It is the most fertile region in Italy and it has an intensive agriculture as well as industrial belt important in that region. Then we also have Apennine Mountains, which you just saw in the map. They run like a spine across the peninsula. So Apennines are running across the peninsula. This is the Po River and here we have Alps. And you can see Mont Blanc located right at the border. So Alps as well as the peak is located at the border of Italy and France. Other than that, some famous mountains such as Mount Etna, Stromboli and Mount Vesuvius, which are volcanic mountains which have been known for their eruptions, are famous. And when we are talking about certain islands such as Sicily, Sardinia, they are not only strategic Mediterranean points, but they are also known for tourism. Other than that, the climate of this region is Mediterranean. That means summers are dry and rainfall is seen in winters. Alpine climate, that means near the Alps, the climate seems to be a little colder and it is alpine in north. It is a vibrant coastal economy and it is also known for a hub for luxury goods, fashion and also automobiles. In terms of significance of this very country, it is very important geopolitically because it controls Mediterranean routes, and that is why it is very important in European Union migration politics. Other than that, it is an important NATO member as well, influencing Europe's southern flank, which includes the neighboring countries around Italy. Other than that, environmentally, because it has multiple volcanic mountains, major earthquake risks remain there. It lies very close to African and Eurasian plate convergence. Other than that, culturally, it holds a lot of importance because it is known not just for birth of the Roman Empire, but also the Renaissance, and that is why strong UNESCO presence is also seen there. Other than that, it is significant in the dimension. Now moving to the next place, that is Great Barrier Reef. It has been in news because of the heat stress and also the rare disease that has been seen in this particular region, and also it has resulted in Goniopora coral colonies being wiped out. There has been intense cases of coral bleaching and almost 75% of Goniopora coral colonies have been wiped out. We have seen UNESCO monitoring this region and it has already been discussing that it should be classified as a World Heritage in Nature. And in order to address this, Australian government has already announced new funding for the reef restoration. So when we talk about Great Barrier Reef, you will find the location on the northeastern Australian front near the Queensland, and it is a World Heritage Site. It is located in the Coral Sea, as I said, on the northeast coast of Australia, and it is the world's largest coral ecosystem, where we get to see 2300 kilometer long, and it is so visible that we can find it, spot it from this space. Other than that, important factors such as there are 2900 reefs, 900 islands and more than 1500 species, where we have 140 shark and ray species present, highlights that how important it is in terms of biodiversity, and any adverse effect in this region that we are seeing, such as coral bleaching, that means this is a wake up call for all of us. In terms of major threat, this region is facing mass coral bleaching because of climate change. There is slowed coral calcification that we are seeing because of ocean acidification. That means the level of carbon dioxide is rising in ocean, and because the coral reefs are built by coral polyps, they thrive only in warm, shallow and low nutrient waters. So because the ocean acidification, the pH level of ocean is changing, that is slowing down the coral calcification that takes place. The climate change, that means temperature increase, is resulting in coral bleaching. Other than that, crown of thorn starfish outbreaks are taking place, and it is also seen that high warming in this region has been reason for cyclones and storm surges. Other than that, oceanic factors such as the East Australian current also influences the nutrient flow and temperature. So certain things you need to remember from the context of this Great Barrier Reef is not just that it is ecologically important, but also what is the location and what are the things that and the factors that affect it. In terms of significance, we have already discussed that this is one of the most important and richest marine ecosystem, stands as a strong pillar to global biodiversity. In terms of economic factors, it is responsible for generating huge revenue, especially through tourism, and stands as a very strong pillar to the support of coastal economies. And for the scientific purposes, it is a natural laboratory where we get to study coral resilience and marine climate change that we are seeing. Now moving on to the next place that we are going to cover today, that is Brunei. Now recently, India and Brunei have held their inaugural Defence JWG meet, and when we talk about Brunei, it is located on the north coast of the Borneo Island. So when we look at the Borneo Island, you will find two non-contiguous parts. That means one part is, the main part is here, another part which is bifurcated by Limbang Valley of Malaysia, and it is surrounded by Malaysia on all sides. Now the coast here faces the South China Sea, and it is known for the dense geography that we get to see. We have tropical forest, that means 70% of their region is covered with tropical rainforest, hilly interiors and riverine systems. Because it lies very close to the equator, the climate you find warm and humid. The economy of this nation is majorly dependent on oil and natural gas resources. 90% of their export revenue comes from this, and for India also they are a major LNG exporter, not just for India, in Southeast Asia as well. If we talk about the importance of Brunei in terms of strategic placement, it is situated near major shipping lanes which are connecting Indian and Pacific Ocean, one of them being the South China, which is the star of the fight that comes from China. Other than that, when we are talking about Brunei in terms of significance, it is an important member of ASEAN, and it is highly affected by China's maritime policy, because as I said, China has the main playing area in the South China Sea where it shows its claim. In terms of energy significance, it is a reliable LNG partner for India, and its high forest cover, high biodiversity makes it an important model for rainforest conservation. From the perspective of exam, not just the mapping of this region, but the members of ASEAN, an important partner for India, and India-ASEAN engagement becomes important. Now moving to the next one, that is Mexico. It is in news because Mexico has decided to put up 50% tariffs on India, and it could affect almost $1 billion worth of exports from our country. If we talk about location of Mexico, it is located in the North American continent. This is one of the southernmost countries of the North American continent. It is bordered by US in the north, and then we have Guatemala and Belize in the south. In terms of geography, if you look here, you will find a major river, that is Rio Grande, which makes the boundary between US and Mexico for a long patch here. In terms of mountain ranges, you will find Sierra Madre Occidental and Sierra Madre Oriental, which are present here. In terms of water bodies, you will see it is surrounded by Gulf of Mexico, and then we have Pacific Ocean, and in the southeast we also have Caribbean Sea right here. So these are important water bodies around it. Now in terms of important cities and regions, the capital Mexico City, which is the largest mega city in North America, and it is placed so because of the vast urban agglomeration. New York comes second after this. Then we have Sonora, which is known for the lithium deposits, making it important in the lithium supply chain, especially with respect to rising role of lithium in the renewable energy and the EV aspect. Then we have Nuevo Leon. This is a near-shoring hub, and Veracruz, which as a key port on Gulf of Mexico, important for connectivity and trade. When we talk about significance, geostrategically present, it sits between Pacific and Atlantic trade routes. It is a major partner in USMCA, that is US-Mexico-Canada agreement, and gives access to North American markets. In terms of economic dimensions, it remains a hub, either if it's about automotives, electronics and manufacturing, and as I said, it is an emerging leader in lithium and also clean tech supplies. All the companies, top tier companies looking to adopt near-shoring, a top destination that is emerging as of now is Mexico. For India, it is one of the most important trading partners because it is a top Latin American trading partner, and it is absolutely critical for pharmaceutical, steel and auto components and energy exports. So the tariffs that have been imposed, they might create a huge impact, and this is a chance for India to get into negotiations for a trade agreement and be better placed, and let not the tariffs affect the export market at our end. Now we will be moving to the Indian places. The first place that we are covering is the Charaichung Royal Bird Sanctuary. Now this has been in news because the Charaichung festival is being celebrated, and it is being celebrated to ensure the revival of Asia's oldest bird sanctuary, that is Charaichung Royal Bird Sanctuary. If you talk about the location of this, you would have to remember Majuli Island, which is the largest riverine island on Brahmaputra river in Assam. It is located there, and it is famous for the migratory birds which come in here, because this bird sanctuary lies on the migratory bird routes in the Brahmaputra basin. There are certain major tribes such as Mishing, Deori and Sonawa Kachari, and they are also known for Vaishnavites, Satras and traditional art forms. So this festival is being celebrated to promote the revival of this sanctuary, which is located in the Majuli district. If we talk about the significance, you can understand it by the fact that it is recognized as Asia's first protected bird sanctuary since 1633 AD. It has more than 150 indigenous as well as migratory bird species, and also it is a critical wetland ecosystem. Can you tell me in the comment section, is it a Ramsar wetland site as well or not? Then it also holds a lot of cultural and historical significance because it was established by a home king, Swargadiyu Pratap Singha, and this festival, Charaichung festival, this aims to revive the historical conservation practices that have existed since 1633 and the local pride associated with it. This also marks the governance aspect and the tourism potential that lies with it, because this is the only second edition and it calls for official government support to the conservation local practices, the older practices that are being led for, and it works as a case study for you because this is a community-led conservation which is supported by local governance. On this note, we will be moving on to the next one, which is Sultanpur National Park, which is located in Haryana. Now, Sultanpur National Park, which gets to see majority of migratory birds from October to March. We have seen a surge in early winter migratory birds because the climatic patterns across the world have been altered, and there are certain reports which are discussing the impacts of NCR air pollution, especially on the wetland birds which are present there. That's why it has been in news. If we talk about location, Sultanpur National Park is located very close to Delhi-Haryana border, but it is located in Haryana and it is known for being a Ramsar site. If we talk about the ecosystem, the geography present there, it is a shallow lake wetland. It has marshes, reed beds, grassland buffer, and it also is known for the seasonal hydrological fluctuations. That means there are times that the water level drops as per the season that is seen. If you talk about the presence of biodiversity in bird life, more than 250 species, especially bar-headed geese, greater flamingos, occasionally because they migrate. Then we have spoonbills, pelicans, kingfishers, wagtails, and it is directly hydrologically linked to Najafgarh Jheel and also the Aravalli foothills. So this gives you a clearer understanding into how geography is linked here directly. Now moving to the significance here, ecologically it is very important, as I mentioned, in terms of geography because it is the part of Central Asian flyway, which is a critical wintering site, especially for migratory birds. When we talk about wetland governance, it is a Ramsar site. So the Ramsar obligations are to be followed, floods and pollution vulnerability is to seen. Regional planning is of immense because NCR sprawl is also being seen in this region, and from the perspective of exam, many dimensions, be it the importance of Ramsar site, be it the urban sprawl, the NCR pollution and environmental damages, all need to be understood. Now that was all for today. Thank you so much.